everyone, welcome to another video. If you don't know me, my name is Presence and I'm currently just an economics student, and I just want to say thank you so much because we hit 500 subscribers, and yeah, I just came one day to check and then I realized we hit 500. So it's kind of weird because I always look at channels how 10k, 100k, and then when you think of 500 people, that's quite a lot. So I appreciate every single one of you guys who are supporting the channel, and yeah, it hasn't been as consistent as could be, so apologies for that. Either way, now is another video, and the videos that I want to make are mainly videos that would actually help you guys. I do plan on doing like a 500 Q&A, or maybe like get to know me, day of a life type of video next. So if you are looking forward to that, then like and subscribe. If not, then today the video that I wanted to make was about personal statements, because the past 6 weeks or so I've been really focused on delivering my 6-week program to 15 year 12s, and the students are just loving it. They're from South Africa, America, Malaysia, Italy, so it's so cool to be able to help you guys, year 12s, around the world on their personal statements, and it's just been so fun. So I thought I'll make another video on personal statements, and this time talking about tips on how to make a good personal statement. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So the common question that I get asked is, how do you make a personal statement stand out? Because let's be real, everyone who's applying to Cambridge, Oxbridge, LSE, Warwick, they've all got the A stars, and how do you make a personal statement that is gonna shine through and not feel like the same? Well, I think overall every personal statement is kind of the same, but there are definitely some ways where you can make your personal statement way better and just stand out. So yeah, anyway, let's just get into it. So tip number one is have the end goal in mind. So many students write their personal statements and they don't really think of the end goal, or like who's actually reading it. So obviously it's the admission tutors who are going to be reading a personal statement. So you need to think about them, have them in the back of your mind, like what are they looking for? Understand what they're looking for, do your own research, look at the course website for the course that you want to apply to, the university you want to apply to, and understand what kind of students they're looking for. What would the admission tutor be wanting to see in a personal statement? That's a good quality that is reflecting someone who would want to go there. So always have the end in mind. Understand that you are writing the personal statement not for yourself but for the admission tutor to read, and what would they be thinking when they're reading a personal statement? What kind of questions would be in their mind? What would they be wanting to see? And how can you write it on paper to reflect your ability and what they're looking for? So have that in mind. Tip number one. Tip number two is have structure. So I've been helping some students who are reapplicants, and the common mistake that I see them make and why I think they're rejected, obviously I'm not disclaimer, I'm not an admissions tutor, and everything I'm saying is from experience of helping other students applying, and they've been successful, so I kind of feel like I have some sort of tips that would be valuable. But yeah, so anyway, a mistake that I always see is they just write about everything and anything. I understand that maybe you have done so many different activities, you've joined all the essay competitions, you've done all the work experience, all the summer schools, all the books, everything, and you feel like you have to write everything down, and you feel like if you don't write everything down, then it's kind of a waste of doing it. I'm sorry to say that maybe you've done some amazing things, but maybe they just don't fit into the personal statement, and it's just going to be actually better to leave them out. So a few of the students that I'm helping with is, I see them do so many amazing things, but they include it when it just feels like they're forcing it. So really make sure that you're not writing about everything. Structure is really important. Having that solid 3 to 4 big topics is my rule. So not writing about 10 different topics within your course, because in one course in economics there's just so many different small subtopics, right? Economic history, econometrics, politics, behavioral economics, all of that. But I would advise you to choose 3 to 4 big topics and focus on writing quality content over quantity. So it's all about quality over quantity, and make sure you're not writing everything and anything. Make sure you have a core good structure and talk about 3 to 4 big topics in depth as opposed to 10 small topics randomly. So that's tip number 2, and let's move on to tip number 3, is to actually talk about yourself. So a lot of personal statements that I read that did get rejected is they just sound like any student. They sound like all the students where they describe what they did, they've done a lot of cool activities, yeah, cool, but can I hear your voice from the personal statement? Can I see how your life has been affected by like your interest in the course or anything? Like, can I get to know you as a person through the personal statement? Remember that the personal statement is kind of the only essay that admission tutors are going to read that's going to let them get to know you a bit more. If they don't have interviews or anything, they're going to rely on the personal statement to understand how you're going to be like as a student, or your personality and what you're interested in and everything. So if you write a personal statement that doesn't really show who you are, then it's not going to be so original, it's not going to be so authentic. The reason why it's a personal statement is because it's personal, and to be personal you need to actually kind of talk about yourself. I know it's a common, I guess, like teachers don't always say that. They often say you should just like write about the activities you've done and everything and not really talk about yourself. But I would say see the personal statement as like a story between you and your course. Really try to share your personal experience or some stuff that's happened to you in your life and how that relates to the course. The key thing is to make everything relevant, but if you can include some aspects, some insight of who you are as a person, or how your life has been, maybe what countries you've been in, what kind of stuff you're interested in, and how that relates to your course, then that's way more interesting and way more authentic and way more original than a student who just talks about what they've done and everything, but doesn't include anything about them as a person or their personality or everything. So that's tip number 3, 4, 3, yeah, 3. So tip number 4. Personal statements that I saw that were successful, that did get the offers, and those who didn't get the offers, the ones that were successful, they were very, very clear on explaining why they wanted to do the course and why they were the right fit for the course. If you can't explain this clearly and not repetitively, but if you can't re-emphasize why you want to do the course throughout your personal statement, not just in the beginning, then it won't be as good. So a lot of personal statements I read that are kind of meh. They talk about why they want to do the course in the introduction, but then they just talk about what they've done throughout the personal statement and that's it. Whereas the personal statements that have done really well and have seen the results that they want, is they emphasize why they want to do the course throughout the personal statement. They kind of drip feed like why they want to do it and re-emphasize why they want to do their course throughout the personal statement and not just in the introduction. So my tip number 4 would be to remember the purpose of the statement is to explain why you want to do the course and why you're the right person, and this shouldn't just be in the introduction, it should be throughout the personal statement. So that's that tip. And my last tip, which is tip number 5, is the extracurricular activities. Now, you have to write your extracurricular activities not just because they want to know you a bit more. Okay, they do want to know you a bit more, but that's not the main reason for why they want you to write extracurricular activities. It will only be around 30% of your personal statement, sometimes even less if you're applying to places like Oxbridge, where they focus more on the academic side. But if you do write about extracurricular activities, then remember that the reason why they want you to write about it is for you to demonstrate what kind of transferable skills you have that you're going to bring to university or to your studies. For example, have you been dancing for 8 years? If you have, then that shows that you're good at commitment and focus and dedication towards like a specific hobby or something for a long time, and therefore you can bring this transferable skill of determination, perseverance into your studies or into university societies. Kind of choose the activities that are going to demonstrate transferable skills that universities are looking for. And the common skills are communication, organisation, leadership, perseverance, determination, grit. What kind of activities, that was weird. Extracurricular activities. What extracurricular activities have you done that demonstrates certain transferable skills? This is why sports is often a really good one to include, is because sports is competitive, and oftentimes people commit to a certain sport for years, and that shows determination, grit. And if you are, you know, performing at an elite level, then it shows that you try the best for not just your course and studies, but you also do your best in other areas of life. People who often excel in studies, they often excel in other areas like music and sports as well. So if you can demonstrate that, then that would be really good. Just don't list out, oh, I do music, dance, and I go to clubs, and I like drawing. Like, that's like the worst way to talk about extracurricular activities, and surprisingly there are quite a lot of students who I've read who do write it that way, so make sure that's not you. And so yeah, those are my 5 tips. I've got way more that are in the bag to talk about in the future, but if you are in year 12, you're writing a personal statement this year, and you want to join my 6-week personal statement course where I've been helping year 12s to break down what a good personal statement looks like. We've been doing 6 weeks. Each week we have a different topic, and in each topic we talk about different topics. Each week, okay. Anyway, if you want to know more about the details, which has been great lately, it's a step-by-step process breaking down everything, literally everything about how to write a good personal statement from the start to the finish. And yeah, if you want to join in students from all over the world doing this program, then fill in the form below or use the link, whatever I use, in the description box. And any questions, leave it in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or personal questions that you want me to do in the next, I guess, Q&A, get to know me type, then also link that below. If not, I hope you guys have a good day, and until next time.